affected just by the air force from Emerald.
Unfortunately, I moved off and missed what happened here, but Miller was attempting to capture auxiliary compound. They looked like they had a pretty good defense set up, but Emerald came back in force and kicked them off the point here. Well, one reason that they kicked them off the point is they have managed to get a Vanguard up onto the main
base?
point area. They're trying to Makala's auxiliary compound. I don't know if this guy's going to make it, but he's giving it a really good go. So,
not really sure why Miller's air wing is just trolling Macallan mining when Sungri only has a few Emerald airships. But maybe they have a plan.
Sungray Overwatch is now falling. This is part of those, those bases that are just really, really weak and not easy to defend.
Well, he's got a good view, and he's got the shotgun on the Enforcer on top. He needs a little push. Oh, is he gonna make it? Close.
All the bad things that you learn from watching Server Smash, like how to get Vanguards in places they shouldn't be.
Oh man, there are tons of those spots around everywhere.
Yeah, but that's a save though, so they should get the fully save. And they're saving Araxicom Network Hub. Araxicom Substation. Araxis Firearms Corp is being saved. High Roads is possibly about to be put under contention. Depends on whether or not they can get on the point. Cryobank is going back and forth. So there's actually a lot of bases theoretically under contention going back and forth, but Emerald's not really losing anything with, Miller. I mean, it's good for Miller. They are trying. They're definitely counter-attacking whenever they get the opportunity, but it's such small token forces that it only takes one or two squads to kind of come in and push off, and then that's it. Looks like the Miller force is picking off the Spawn Sunder for Emerald's question. Well, not really. That's Max. Look behind you. Look, yeah, down there. It's too late.
Emerald's air wing is at Araxis Firearm. Miller's air wing is at Araxicom Substation. They're not really.
Ooh, Overwatch is finally beginning to flip. So the amp station's fully saved, and Overwatch is now ticking down. High Road Station isn't anytime soon going to be under attack or being flipped. We see the Sunder, but Miller's forces are here, and the numbers are but 50-50. So it'd be a very tough battle for the current state of that battle at High Roads. Now we're going to have a look at Overwatch.
Overwatch is overrun with Emerald right now. There is a Galaxy drop of Miller that just tried to get onto the roof. Did not look like a whole lot of people doing that.
The tech plant is under attack again. Crux headquarters was under attack by Miller, but now it looks like Emerald's on the save. High Road Station has been reinforced, so it's no longer 50-50, it's now 2-1, so it looks like pressure's being applied by Emerald. They want to get High Roads, they want to safeguard their Barrack Electrical and Araxis Firearms Corp. That barrack, the High Road Station's been a right nuisance for the Emerald, increasing the number of lanes. Macalla, thing is, we're 16.5 minutes to go, so Macalla is possible. I mean, they've got two squads there, and they've got an extra two squads at auxiliary compound that can come in. Overwatch, okay, reinforcements from Miller are coming in. They've got themselves the roof, they've got themselves entryway to the two double doors leading to the capture point. But Emerald has got the adjoining double doors, these two doors here, and they've got maxes. I'm not seeing any maxes from Miller, so this is going to be tricky. Spawn Sunder wise, we still have 3 Sunders and we have 4 or 5 harassers on the outside. I think they're trying to get on the inside. Yeah, they are. I got in, guys. It's all cool. Oh wait, no. And it's rusted.
Interestingly, at the tech plant, a naughty Galaxy just showed up here, and I assumed that they were coming to resecure. It was one guy. There was one guy in a Galaxy who showed up from Naughty to try and resecure this. He's out of his Galaxy. I guess he got back in. I don't know if he's going to try and get his squad to spawn in here or something. He did manage to go blow up the Sunder that Emerald had brought in, but that was very strange. I expected an entire squad to pop out of that thing, and it was one guy.
So, 10 seconds to go. Emerald, theoretically they were under threat, but I'm not saying these harassers made all the difference, but they were a nuisance, that's for certain. The Air Forces... Oh well, no, Miller's Air Force has turned up now. There was some Emerald, but now Miller's Air Force here. But it doesn't matter, they've lost the base. They did get up close to the building. They were on the inside, but it just simply wasn't enough pressure. And Emerald one step closer now to the Amherst Eastern Warp Gate. Alright. It looks like the Emerald forces have been pushed off McKellar Tech Plant.
This is Odin's Pride on all-call. 15 minutes left. 15 minutes left.
There you go. The attack on our Axicom substation has been saved. Now, the next one that's interesting is I want to see what's happening in High Roads, because High Roads is that base cut behind enemy lines.
I'm heading up to Hidden Ridge Mining to see how Emerald is going to push down this lane, or if they're... I mean, the fact of the matter is Emerald doesn't need to capture any more bases. They're, frankly, just, putting the hurt to Miller at this point. They could just sit back and defend while Miller tried to push into them. But that's not really Emerald's style.
With this victory, Emerald is probably, especially with the point difference, going to guarantee themselves first or second place in the kind of playoffs and get themselves into the championship game. And just to guarantee that fact, the more points we can get, the more that we can burn the salt into the open wounds of Miller. Hey, that works as fine. Bragging rights, whatever you want to call it. They're even parking Sunders right next to Miller's spawn room at High Road Station, just pounding away with bulldogs. Capture point, however, is in the hands of Miller. It looks like they possibly came in from the eastern side. They've got themselves on board. They do have the high ground, that's the other kind of thing. Trying to see what Sunder's Emerald has, and realistically they've got that one Sunder by the western teleporter, which is not helpful, and then they've got a really long run that has to go past the eastern teleporter entrance. And that guy's gone on the west side, and then he's been pushed back further down.
McCullough Tech Plant, even though there is only a small force of Emerald there, is still ticking in Emerald's favor with 3 minutes. It's 12 of 24 for... I'm sorry, it's 24 of 48. No, it's 12 of 24 for Miller, and they still have not managed to get this point back. I don't know if this is a bunch of air that's floating around up top.
Which base?
I guess there is. This is McCullough Tech Plant. I figured that they had come to resecure it early because
they were here and they were saving it, but I guess Emerald just immediately came right back. Points flipping is under contention. There's not that many people actually in the tech plant. What's going on? There's a medic and an infiltrator. That's it. One medic, one infiltrator for Emerald. Now in comes a squad, I think, for Miller on the underground tunnel. Oh, that medic. Oh, the infiltrator barely escapes. Now, is the medic going to choose to res his counterpart? He realizes he can't flip. He realizes there's got to be another hostile. And there his buddies are in now. Oh, he gets a kill though, but still he's outnumbered. He's pushed back. Big response though. I mean, those two guys pulled half a platoon. Half a platoon responded to 2 guys on a capture point at McCullough Tech Plant.
Hidden Ridge Mining has a lot of Emerald all over it, and this is a terrible base to try and defend. For some reason, the way Planetside works, instead of bases towards your warp gate being easier to defend, they just tend on all continents to be much, much harder for the person who owns them close to the warp gate to defend, and this is one of them. There are so many choke points that Emerald can set up people onto, and they have to defend an incredibly enclosed area. This requires a large max crash.
Smash crash and grenades. It's just, and the thing is, the defenders on the capture point, i.e. the attackers, right in this instance, this being Emerald, as long as they hold on to the consumables with 2 minutes to go, they can throw the grenades down the hoarders and they can get maximum effect because it concentrates the defending force to get back their capture point. Whereas Miller's in a tough point because they throw grenades into this capture point, there is space to spread out and move. Emerald, they've got it locked down at the moment, and Miller has to attack maybe from multiple points. And the problem is, getting to the entrances to the capture point is the difficulty. There's so much air force currently going on for Emerald that Miller's just got a horrendous time getting anywhere nearby. Actually, I want to have a look at some of the weapon stats, see what the vehicles are going on. The Reaver in the lead of the Scythe, 1800s, 1000s, Sunders in over 576, Galaxies in the 400s, Harassers are 360, Libs 280-ish, then comes the Man of Terms, Lightnings on 200, Magra's 120, some Vanguard kills, Valkyries are up to 31 kills with a Valkyrie. That means somebody in the Valkyrie with a gun used it to get 31 kills. That's dedication right there.
So we had somebody Miller trying to get a Vanguard onto the place above the point at Hidden Ridge Mining, and he got C4'd. That's usually what you would expect to happen to a tank that can't really see around itself when it's up on a point, and he finally got C4'd off of it. But the Emerald guys on the point are in no way ready to be knocked off yet. Miller is still trying to get down. There's tons of smoke, and they are still trying to mount up an offensive to get into this capture point room with 30 seconds remaining. They're finally at one of the front doors here.
See, at Hidden Ridge Mining, 30 seconds, 25 seconds. Minimap is difficult to see on different levels of terrain. Okay, they are fighting the doorways, but with 19 seconds to go, there comes the smoke, but are they all going to run in now? It's so... they need to make the push. I'm just not seeing it. Alright, there's a heavy assault, there's a light assault, he just got picked off on the point. The Emerald guys are falling back to the capture point. Oh gosh, smoke, my worst enemy. Alright, the point's flipping. We're hard to see. It looks like Emerald is being pushed off the last moment. Yeah, there we go. Miller forces are in. They've got themselves the capture point. The Res Grenade Wars has begun. But it's too much Miller.
Was never resecured fully. Macala Tech Plant might have gotten back down halfway. The SCU is under attack, and Miller has, I think, removed their people from here, and Emerald just came right back.
And in the south, Miller is just being a right nuisance, keeping High Road Station, and now they're attacking Araxis Firearms Corp again, and Barrack Electrical, and Cryobank. So what should just be theoretically one fight at Granite Valley, which is what Emerald wants, is a three-way fight because Miller's tenacity at holding on to High Road Station.
I honestly don't know. I mean, unless they can get something for High Roads, like Barrack, and Barrack's really the only thing they can theoretically get. I think, especially now when the point is saved, it's time to move your forces out of that and go save your tech plant, and then maybe come back and do another save, or it's completely cut off. And if you can do a bigger
SCU's
push
vulnerable.
trying to with the
wow. So not only is the SCU vulnerable, the entire attacking force of Emerald has decided to go for the SCU at Macala Tech Plant. If they know that if they pick off the spawns, the Miller force can't redeploy. Because Miller currently is... Alright, now they're beginning to spawn in. We can see it's 54 to 46. The capture point's flipping, but the capture point... well, actually, tell you what, with a minute, if the point is actually in the hands of Miller, so Miller gets this back in 60 seconds, it means the SCU can't be re-triggered, as it were. But Emerald is putting a lot of forces and committing a large number of people to making sure this SCU generator goes down, or the SCU itself, I mean.
At Araxium Cryobank in the south, Miller is on the point. They have a lot of people in Galaxies. It looks like at least 3 squads, maybe an entire platoon down here. There is one Sunder that's trying to be deployed from Emerald, but this is a lot of people that Miller is spending down here, and it's obvious at this point that Emerald's just going to let him sit here and then try and come back and take it at the last possible second. They don't need to move forward on this lane. They just need to resecure this base, and they can let him sit here almost for another 30 seconds.
So the SCU's down at the tech plant, and about 4 seconds from now, those shields are about to go up. I wonder if anyone's going to get trapped. Oh wait, am I wrong? Is it the 3-minute marker? It must be the 3-minute marker for the SU shields. Alright, my mistake. But anyway, the SU's down. The fact is, this Emerald force, are they going to go back for the capture point? Yeah, it looks like they're beginning to stream back to the capture point on the tech plant. And it's flipping already. We got 6 minutes and 25 seconds to go. Yep, they could get this. And now, don't get me wrong, right now, Miller, yes, they're losing quite heavily, but they are valiantly trying to attack in as many places as they can. They're attacking Araxicom substation, they're attacking Araxis Firearms Corp, they're attacking Barrack Electrical, keeping the fight off High Roads, they're attacking Cryobank. That is good pressure in the south. Miller is doing the right job fighting on the enemy base, keeping them off, but the problem is, they need to get bases, and so far, Emerald has done an extremely good job at fire handling 5 bases in the south, attacking where they need to be, and at the same time applying pressure at Macala Tech Plant and Macala Cart Mining.
And just as I said, I figured that Emerald was going to come back in the last 30 seconds of Raxium Cryobank. That's exactly what they did. Goku brought in a harasser onto the point, and they're just playing redeploy side. They don't need to take anything down here. They're willing to spend their forces somewhere else and come back at the last possible second to resecure things, which is exactly what they did. And Emerald doesn't seem to be resource starved at all. I keep on seeing them pull maxes whenever they need to kick people off.
It depends how intense a firefight it can be, because in 7 minutes you can be oh wait, no, that's with the boost. It's more like 14 minutes. Maybe you're right. Yeah, okay. With membership,
is back ticking for Emerald.
And we're also currently at
5 minutes
Hidden
left.
Ridge mining.
5 minutes left.
There you go, 5-minute warning. So we're almost at the point now where certain bases are no longer going to be in contention. You'll be within that, under that 4-minute marker. And it looks like Hidden Ridge mining is actually about to fall. With 19 seconds to go, I don't see
I don't
any.
think they're close enough.
I don't see any Miller. Has Miller just left? It looks like Miller's not here in
they're
numbers.
just not close enough to the point. Oh, they're so close. They just pushed
There's a
in.
max. He's not going to be enough. He's pushing in. There comes the infantry. They need to get to the capture point. 5 seconds. All of Emerald needs to go to that A capture point. Oh, they're throwing grenades. It's only 1 point entry. Oh, this is painful to watch. And there you go. Another base taken by Emerald.
And that was black arrows from...
If they get somebody... Oh, they actually have people at Jagged Lance Mine. They have 10 seconds to start flipping that. It's flipped.
And
This base can theoretically be captured.
Miller can capture a Raxacom substation in the time period.
The tech plant cannot be captured, no point fighting there. McCalla Cart Mining can be captured, you could still fight there. Blackshard Tungsten Mine is actually going, that's interesting. Raxus Firearms Corp can't be captured. Barrack Electrical can be captured. Cryobank, no, can't, not really, it's super close. The fact is, we're now playing for absolute last blood. Blackshard, in theory, could be saved. We have a look. It's exposed. Oh, there's no Miller forces here. Emerald has got themselves already set up. I wonder if Miller forces have just given up and decided to go home.
Can you go get Odin, our referee, and bring him up to the channel for the final countdowns?
Dragged him up.
Hey Odin, we just brought you up here for the final countdown of the
So
match.
do a 3-minute, 2-minute, 1-minute, 30-second, that type of stuff. Currently still looking at Blackshard Tungsten Mine. The Miller Air Force has turned up. They're trying to do some sort of suppression.
3 minutes left, boys.
But with 20 seconds to go, the Air Force is pounding away. It's so close to the warp gate. Even the pilots are jumping out their ESFs. Oh, they're on the capture point. They're flipping it. The pilot jumped out. 3 pilots. Oh, wow. They make a last-ditch save in Blackshard Tungsten Mine. And that should be enough. I don't see any of Emerald yet. So they've made a save. So that's that saved. Jagged Lance Mine is the next one. Looks like McCalla Mining, Cart Mining has been saved. Barrack Electrical could actually go in favour of Miller. Why don't you check out Barrack Electrical while I check out Lance?
Down there now, yep. It's under a minute here, and I'm looking for the push from Emerald yet. Oh, there's
2
a
minutes.
huge push from Emerald coming into Barrack Electrical right now. They're at the choke points.
Oh, Lance is terrible. There's so many Sunders and vehicles. There's no teleporter building for this base. They're so close to the warp gate, but the simple fact is Emerald has got this point locked down. Harassers, Sunders, deployment, engineers on the top, extra... Oh, Galaxy drop by the Miller Force. They know that if they just grab the point for a few seconds, like 10 seconds, this base won't count. But it's just not enough with that Galaxy drop.
Emerald brought a double Bulldog Sunder onto the point of Barrack Electrical Station and are just absolutely destroying everything here. They did finally get C4'd, but that's what allowed Emerald to push back onto the point. Barrack Electrical is saved, at least unless there's a counter push that I don't see happening from Miller at this moment.
Well, this is going to be this is currently the biggest defeat or greatest margin of victory in any server smash.
Jagged Lance is still falling, and McCalla Cart is back falling again, and that's a minute 30 left. So.
That's not enough. Cart Mining doesn't matter. So Tech Plant doesn't matter. Cart Mining doesn't matter. Blackshard doesn't matter. Barrack Electrical would count.
They just got it back.
They got it back. So that you have a look there. I'm currently looking at Lance.
It's in the process of leaving. Miller did get back onto the point, and so they must have had a Sunder. Oh, they drove in 2 Sunders into one of the garages. It's back to 30 seconds, and I think actually they caught Miller unawares. Or they caught Emerald.
Emerald, yeah.
Emerald had, it looks like, redeployed already.
Now the thing is, we're still 45 seconds to go. Miller's getting more adventurous. I mean, they're getting close. They're so close to their warp gate. They're pulling in air reinforcements. Fact is, I don't think they can. No, I don't think they can get the base in time. Miller has done enough to stall this base. They won't make it in time because the time is 20 seconds and it's 24 in the cap. So their drops on the capture point to stall it for time has been enough so that this won't count.
Barrack Electrical was captured by Miller. I mean, there was an insane number of maxes from Emerald that tried to push around the corner. They just were not in time. So Barrack Electrical was captured.
Time.
Oh, there we go. So, and even then they stopped the point at the last moment, but that wouldn't have counted anyway. So the final score is 68 to 29. Emerald gets 68 points, Miller 29. Wow, that was...
Congratulations to Emerald. Well played to Miller. Good job.
Well, we definitely got to see more bases than we're used to, Red. But that was... I don't know... I'm trying to think where it may or may not have kind of collapsed for Miller. I mean, it seemed that they were doing so well in the beginning. If I was to pick anywhere in the actual fight, it's got to be the Tumas Tech Plant failure. That last, when they lost the Tumas Tech Plant, it just seemed to all go downhill from there. Because up until that point, it was fairly balanced going back and forth.
We saw this yesterday with Connery. The opening was fairly balanced. There was a lot of back and forth. The opening for Connery Cobalt lasted a little bit longer where it was balanced than this one did, but there definitely seemed to be a tipping point. I would again call out the NC Arsenal. The NC Arsenal falling for Emerald early on was just such a huge victory up in the north. It allowed them to assert their dominance up there as much as they wanted. And then even though Miller had those great successes in the bottom, they managed to get cargo facility. They managed to get Tumas Tech Plant. They were even pushing on Aramax Chemical Corporation. They either moved their people away or Emerald reinforced down there, and when they lost Tumas Tech, that was, I agree with you, the final breaking point. And from then on, it was just they couldn't stop what Emerald was doing as far as pushing down the lanes.
If Lanzer or Odin's or even yourself, Redland, can we grab the representatives for an interview? We'll move to the interview channel in a minute just to talk with those guys and see what they think went well and what didn't go well, and perhaps why Emerald is the Ascendant server as always. Oh, and there's one other thing, if you guys hold on here. We did give me this, and I should play this, and apologies for done this earlier. Here we go. You guys will like this. It's just a little pre-recording.
After 2 incredible hours of blood and nanites, going undefeated through round 2 in this tournament, with their second win by majority territory control, Emerald United!
Thank you, Poo Nanners. I'm glad I remembered to play that. I would have feeling so disappointed if we didn't. I gotta say, Emerald thinks they won because they have a Poo Nanners and Miller doesn't. What do you think to that?
I don't know. I mean, they do have Planner's slaves as one of their outfits, so it's certainly an argument we have to take into account. It looks like we have everyone up in the interview channel. Should we head up?
All right, let's go up. Hello, guys.
I'm here. I was given Modifier an thing, see what he wants to.
Okay, so any burning question, Reynolds, you want to ask? I mean, Miller, where do you think it started to go wrong? For me, is when you lost Tumas Tech Plant. You so nearly made the save with 2 seconds to go, except the Maxes went the wrong way.
Oh, wait. They don't have their force commander up here.
Real quick, guys.
Yep.
If you want to move your ops cam over to the Ascent.
All right.
Okay.
Fun.
Can you give Morphle the mission to speak, please?
Whale Wars.
Okay, thank you.
Done.
I just want to say, good game, well played, Emerald. I have no idea how you did that. We were outpopped in every base from what I could see. And yeah, it felt like that twice the population. Really well played.
Yeah, good game. It was a lot of fun. Also, where are your dudes? We were at the Ascent. You're not here.
I've ordered them all here. I'll make sure they are on the way. There are a lot of Valkyries at the warp gate.
So, my question is, how did both servers feel their opening went? Miller, how did you feel your opening went? And Emerald, how did you feel yours went? So, Miller, start.
I can start. Yeah. Basically, it all went not as planned. We didn't get the air superiority we hoped on. And yeah, basically we didn't get NC Arsenal, which was a base I really wanted to have. And yeah, our force there just couldn't delay the enemy long enough until our force from the south could deploy up. So from there on, it just went downhill.
And Emerald, how did you feel the opening went? Did you get the bases that you wanted? Did you have to react to what they did? Or?
We wanted Tumos, and we were actually kind of surprised they got it. But we traded a bunch of time at NC Arsenal to recap Tumos, and I think it went really well for us. The interdiction at Raven's Landing went perfectly. Probably the best thing that we had going for us. So, yeah, I felt our opening went really well.
And what was the... I noticed that you didn't really try and interdict at Cargo Facility, which we've seen twice now. You did it at Ravens. Is there a reason you didn't go to Cargo Facility? Or were you trying to and just got killed out? Or
We sent some guys there, but I think they just beat us to the point.
We actually practiced breaching the Tumas cargo facility hold in our training. We were completely prepared to breach it. So I was kind of sad that there wasn't a heavy interdiction.
Now, this is specifically for Emerald. Emerald, you guys have in previous matches prided yourselves on not having an Air Force and doing perfectly fine with it. You had an Air Force today. You know what? Yeah. What made the difference? Why did you have one today, and what brought that about?
We actually weren't sure if we were going to have an Air Force today, to be totally honest. We were a little questionable on numbers, but they pulled through and did very well. So I can't tell you what happened.
About how many people did you have in the air, Emerald and Miller?
We had a full platoon.
And Miller?
It's the same.
Okay. And obviously, once Tumas tech plant fell, it seemed like the momentum was completely in Emerald's hands. Miller, did you ever feel like there was a point in the match where you had some opportunities that you thought were going to go through, and then they just got taken away from you, or were you constantly feeling like you had to put out fires the rest of the match?
We tried to put up a lot of pressure in the south, but Emerald did a great job re-securing those whenever we made any progress. But there were points where I thought there was a chance for a comeback, and Emerald managed to stomp all of them.
One of the things I noticed from Miller was really, really great vehicle play. You're known for having a harasser-only outfit, but it wasn't, I assume, just them who was doing that. I saw Goku and several other people pull harassers, pull Sunders in very key locations. Was that something that you guys preached, or was that just the individual squads doing that for it? I mean, it really turned some of those bases around, parking galaxies in the way that they had to blow up the galaxy before they could get to the point, things like that. Emerald?
Oh, sorry, that was to us? I thought
yes.
You were talking about Miller. So, our harasser outfit, actually, they stayed on Crux the whole time. I actually wasn't really paying attention to the question, because I thought you were talking to Miller.
I was just talking about vehicle play in general from you guys. It seemed like everyone from Emerald was really amped doing the vehicle play. We saw multiple times where people tried to pull Sunders or even Vanguards up onto points. Lots of great harasser play, both from your harasser outfit and from others, and even times where I would see people drop a galaxy in between the point and